just mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J Mitch. We got Jackie Boyd.
He tried to jump up, and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys would come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there. He's punching me in the stomach. Like, punching me.
Here, is everyone sitting around? Who here thinks Ochinko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's doing the team 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ochinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her and I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for
Good
the
show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like, they should
Players. Look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now.
Hello. Welcome back to Mic'd Up. Today is Wednesday, July 31st. It is the last day of July. August is right around the corner. You got football that starts. You think they did that on purpose? Hey, it's the first day of August. We're going to have football. Hall of Fame game is tomorrow. Don't expect to see the greatest football ever played, but expect to see football being played.
So you're saying it's not going to be that clean?
I don't think that it's going to be extremely clean, but there's going to be guys there with pads hitting other guys with pads, and there's going to be a quarterback throwing footballs to receivers catching the football.
Won't be Caleb
and there
Williams.
hopefully will be touchdowns being scored.
New kickoff rules.
New kickoff rules, interesting to watch. I think it's going to bring the kickoff return back, which is awesome.
Devin Hester, you got one more in you?
Kills the onside kick.
Yeah. I hate that.
Kills the onside kick. Don't love that either. They've been trying to kill it for years.
Yeah.
You know, I think they finally killed it. They killed the return. Now they no longer have the return killed. So Devin Hester, who's getting inducted into Hall of Fame tomorrow, he's smiling because, hey, I made my career off of that. And so now these other guys are going to be, you're going to see, to me, one of the most exciting plays in football is a kickoff return for a touchdown. Doesn't happen often, but when it happens, really fun to watch. So Hall of Fame game tomorrow, inductees of the Hall of Fame. Notable, I guess there's more than these, right? Or is it?
Yeah, there's two old heads
Yeah.
in there that I didn't know who they were. One for the 85 Bears, I think, and one was on the Broncos Orange Crush defense. So
Okay.
congratulations to those
To them.
two.
But of notable names of people probably watching, of the demographics of people probably watching this show, Dwight Freeney, defensive end for the Colts. Obviously, everybody knows who he is. Spin move. Great spin move. Undersized defensive lineman. Unbelievable spin move. That was his thing. Spin move.
I didn't realize
mean,
this. I did hear this the other day. Apparently, the chip block started with Dwight Freeney. Like, that was the first person they were like, hey, bro, this is ridiculous.
Because the spin?
Which is he got off the line so fast.
His get off was so good. They just said Belichick.
Yeah.
Weird. Said, hey, you know what? Hey, before you leave this
Hey,
backfield, before you
touch
get into
this
that
guy.
route, just go ahead and give him a little love.
Yeah,
Kevin,
low
let's
man-
have a talk.
Yeah.
Low man wins.
Kiss him in the mouth.
Obviously, he was.
Hey, how you doing?
You didn't know I was coming there, huh?
Low man wins. He's always a low man with the little spin, with the moves he's made. Great career, Hall of Fame career, obviously. Andre Johnson, wide receiver for the Houston Texans. Dog. Ask Cortland Finnegan about how much of a dog he is. Obviously, big brawl on the field. Andre Johnson did not care that Finnegan had his helmet on. He was swinging, throwing haymakers on him on the ground. Enormous wide receiver, really, really talented. Went to the University of Miami. Obviously, he's in the Hall of Fame. Devin Hester, as we mentioned, Hall of Fame. Julius Peppers, monster. Basketball and football player at North Carolina. Obviously, Hall of Fame defensive end. Played for the Panthers, the Bears. Played for a bunch of teams.
Most notable with the Panthers.
Most notable with the Panthers.
Most notable with that shiny-ass helmet and that dark-ass visor that just looked like
Motherfucking Doom.
Doom coming
arms-
at 6-7 feet. Doom
and arms
just
that
coming
could
at you.
scratch his ankle by standing up straight. Like, unbelievably crazy athletic person. And, you know, Hall of Famer. And then you got Patrick Willis, linebacker from University of Ole Miss. Played for the 49ers. Notably, if you remember the tackle he had on Justin Vincent.
He hates that.
college.
I'll never forget.
conversation.
I'll never
Justin
forget what
Vincent doesn't love it, but hey, buddy, I know you may not have been on balance, whatever, but I mean, it looked good.
I remember playing against him one year, and that was when he had that big-ass club on his hand. He
Oh.
had the broken hand, and he had the big club on his hand. I'm like, hey, bro.
He's just knocking people out.
What is? Well, that's
It's illegal.
That's a huge. Yeah. I did was like he different. I don't know but he different.
But all those guys, congratulations to them getting inducted into the college. I mean, not college. They probably will be inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame, but NFL Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame game tomorrow. Football is back. LSU football starts their camp tomorrow. I think they all officially reported today. They start camp tomorrow. We didn't get all the videos of everybody arriving in their nice LSU gear, going into their apartments or dorms or whatever, which I like that. You know, like, we don't need to see that. It's not like it's the NFL where they're going into training camp and it's, you know.
Oh, I disagree.
I know what do you see from that? Just
You don't remember one Danny Etling showing up with the Air Canada shirt and it was like, oh, it's on. LSU has an offensive coordinator. Not
yeah,
the
how'd
case,
that work out?
But it was exciting to see.
Air Canada was more ground Canada. It was grounded.
Steven
Flights-
Sullivan?
All flights were grounded.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of motion, though, pre-flight.
Yeah. Listen,
Ballin'.
they had a lot of taxing on the runway.
Yeah. A lot
You
of
know?
east and west.
A lot of taxing. The guys in the front with the little the lights were a lot of directions, a lot of movements, a lot of doing this. Not a lot of, hey, let's everybody fasten your seatbelts and let's go. Not a lot of that. I expect to see a lot of that in this coming year. We've seen that a lot since in the last 3, 4, 5 years at LSU. I don't expect that to change, but football is here. The closer football gets, listen, it's hot outside.
It's real hot.
It is training camps. You got skerfuffles every day. right? You got people that are sick of hitting each other. They're ready for the season. It's hot. It's miserable. Everybody stinks and it's sweating and all that stuff. And that kind of trickles over into the Twitter world, right? That sometimes you're going to stay in a bad mood when you come off the field. You stay in a bad mood. Maybe something that gets tweeted or posted triggers you. And apparently CJGJ got triggered because he was not voted as a top 10 safety. Who voted?
In Madden.
In Madden. So it wasn't even voted on by players or coaches or GMs or anybody that has anything to do really in the NFL.
Bro, as a player, boys don't care about that. The Madden ratings matter because that's what the people see, and
that's what the people
care
see.
about.
And they want to play
when they in the streets. They want to be respected. You like, hey, bro, that's that dude. That's a
He's
95,
83,
not an 84. You know what I mean? Like that's
that's it.
It's a
That's
thing.
it.
It's
And
a
look,
thing. It is what
Madden
it is.
does a good job of updating. Hey, so CJGJ, if you're not happy, go play well. I'm sure you'll get elevated. He was particularly not happy with the fact that one Tyrann Mathieu was rated as the 5th best safety in the game, and so they had a little bit of a Twitter beef going, which CJGJ is not a stranger to running his mouth or conflict, right? Can you pull those tweets back up, please?
I mean, I guess you could say he ruined Michael Thomas's career. He was never the same after that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. CJGJ comes out and says, he feels like he's disrespected. He calls out a couple guys in particular. Tyrann comes back. And, I mean, I feel like Tyrann's numbers speak for themselves. And he is basically saying, hey, bud, like, I appreciate, you thinking where you're at, but you ain't me type of thing.
I'll get you paid.
This is good for the game.
I love a little shit talk, but man, we got to show a little bit of respect in this thing too, huh?
Respect.
That's all.
Ain't nobody got respect anymore,
That's
man.
bro. Like I love that, man. Like keep that between the lines, though, bro. Get off of Twitter with that nonsense, man.
Nah, it's all about the Twitter fingers.
You got to
now.
understand, like guys like Tyrann or the safety market and the money that's going there and kind of how it's being played is where it is because of guys like Tyrann.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you got to understand that position used to be different. So respect guys like that who have kind of changed that position.
It made it possible for you to do what
That's
you
what I'm
do.
saying. So like
you kind of play similar way.
Just get a little bit of respect. That's
all.
all.
But
I respect the shit talk. But
I think this is good. I think it builds up drama. Hard Knocks ended last night. Great last episode. They kind of got through the draft, show all those types of things.
Do you think that'll be the first and last preseason Hard Knocks?
I don't think so. I think they're going to get some pretty good feedback. And listen, you can't have too much football. And this is, that got us through a month.
Oh, it's great for us, but I'd imagine.
But that's for the fans. I know our team's going to accept it. I don't know.
That's my question. Like I'm not sure it'll be the last one, but with it going and people knowing what's on it now, like how open are some of these conversations that these teams are going to be having? What kind of access are they willing to give them in those situations?
You had the Giants'
That's where the question comes.
entire pre-draft board and how they were marked like
they got
players.
eviscerated for 3 straight episodes, bro, by the public about what they did. And if it doesn't go well this year, oh my God, like nobody wants to be in that situation.
Yeah, he could get fired.
Yeah,
because you can go back and
if
point.
if you're getting an inside look to their decision-making process and the decisions that they made led to a bad season, that's not good for like it's one thing to be like as a fan, you're like, man, I don't know what the hell they doing, and then you see that and then it's bad, it gets even worse. I just don't, like that's probably not something I want to keep going with.
So hopefully it works out for him.
Well, yeah, and it does feel like
I liked watching it.
Yeah, I loved watching it, and it does feel like that they did make the right moves. Like the
Absolutely.
way that the Saquon thing was handled probably could have been handled differently.
No, listen to me.
But he wasn't going to sign. He didn't want to.
Can I say this?
You can.
I don't have no problem on how the Saquon thing was handled. The problem is you saw it.
No, I got a problem with how it was handled. I got in the sense of the choice spoken words to him and or to his camp. I don't have a problem with the actual decision.
Yeah.
I think the decision was fine, and I think he alluded to it. I don't know if y'all paid attention to it at all in the last episode. You see the first words that he told Brian Daboll when they drafted him and they hugged? He goes, "Playmaker, got you one." So like Saquon, one leaves, I bring in another one. Like the plan was to bring in another one.
I guess that's right. I don't disagree with the decision. Maybe things could have been worded differently, but here's the deal: we have nothing to compare that to, right? Maybe other teams. This is how other GMs and coaches talk. The problem with that is you don't see that. You saw this. You got behind the scenes. So if it doesn't work, it looks bad. I understand that. The decision, in my mind, was the right move, right, for what they're trying to do and what they're trying to build. To your point, I think they did they made all the moves that they wanted to make and all of the needs that they had, they accomplished. They got a playmaker in the draft. They filled out some of their secondary needs.
Got the offensive
They
line
got the offensive line figured out in free agency. Like, they had a plan in place, and they executed the plan in the way that they wanted to. Now, is that going to work out? Who knows? But that's the question on every offseason.
That is on one Danny Dimes. That's
the
where
thing.
the root of the issue is.
Right.
Because you did all of this because now you're just like, are we going to invest in Saquon? We already invested in Daniel. And so now we're going to build this thing around him, and we'll see what it looks like.
Right.
All while you're like, can we get a quarterback in the draft?
Well, they dabbled with that. But that's gone. When does the next Hard Knocks start? 2 weeks?
August 6th.
So, next week.
Yeah.
You get 1 week. You don't get any weeks off of Hard Knocks.
And they just released the first trailer for it today.
Who is it? What team is it?
Bears.
Bears.
The
Bears.
The Bears. That's going to be great. So, football is here. Full on, full blown here. Brian Kelly had his first, not to say his first, but like a public appearance at the Rotary Club to talk about this upcoming season.
Big fake media laugh day.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, listen, you got to go out there. Really, there's really nothing new to talk about because camp hasn't started yet, but camp's about to start, and everybody is starting to talk about football. And so you got to go out there and show face. Hey, we're really excited with the work that everybody's done. We think that our defensive line's got a lot of potential, which we think so too. Potential is different than actually having depth and playing. Who's going to develop? Who's going to be the guys they can count on? They spent a lot of money on their defensive coaching staff, which I think is going to help be able to bring these guys along a lot quicker. Offensive line is going to be a staple. And so it's going to be fun to watch them develop. Obviously, the conversations are going to continue to increase. But Brian Kelly speaking about football makes me very happy.
Everybody's in the best shape of their life.
It's best shape of life season.
Yes.
That's before every season starts for every sport, this guy came in the best shape. Hey, listen.
Put in the work in the offseason.
Caleb Jackson gained 35 pounds of muscle.
And
35 pounds, came in LSU at 200 pounds. Now he's 235. Now, sounds great. But, like, didn't seem like he had any problem running people over last year at the weight that he was at.
I'm going to hope that...
I don't want him to get into the alley Broussard where he gets a little too big.
I'm gonna just hope that 35 pounds literally means from the day he stepped on campus and not, like...
Over 1 year.
Over the course of, like, middle of last year to now.
Yeah.
Zion actually, like, it looks a little different.
Yeah. Now, obviously that's... And look, and here's the deal. To going into camp at 235, maybe that's intentional. Because maybe by the time August ends, he's 220. Right? Like, he's going to lose a lot of weight being out on the field all day, every day, sweating. So, like... that's, in baseball, and this isn't even football. In baseball, I would always go into spring training about 5 pounds heavier than I wanted to be going into the season because you're going to be out there, you're going to be playing, you're going to lose some weight just naturally by doing things that you didn't do in the offseason. And so maybe that was the idea.
Not best shape of your life.
No, best shape of my life, just,
It's only going to get better.
Understanding that you're probably going to drop a few pounds. So maybe that was his intent. Who knows? But
if you're telling me he was 200 pounds last year,
he was not.
I've got some
bullshit. 215 maybe.
Beachfront property you can buy.
Yeah, in
Idaho.
Yeah. Some oceanfront property in Arizona.
Middle America.
Yeah,
perfect.
No. Yeah, so
sign you up for a
timeshare. That has to be from when he got to campus or what he's listed at. You know what I mean? But I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see them develop. And I'm excited to really start talking football. In the baseball news, Connor Griffin, big-time prospect for LSU baseball, also big-time prospect for Major League Baseball, officially signed on the dotted lines with the Pirates. Signs for how much? 7? Just under $7 million?
I think, like 6'9". Well, right under 6, I think.
Yeah. So
like 5'9", I think.
Yeah,
I think the slot was like 5'5".
Yeah, just over slot. Deadline sign. Not as common as they used to be. It used to be you wait till the 11th hour and then you sign it on the dotted line and all of a sudden you sign. That's what I did. A lot of people do that. Nowadays it's not as prevalent. He does it. He signs. He's going to have hopefully a very successful professional career. The trade deadline was also yesterday, has come and gone. Some teams made moves, some teams didn't make moves. Admittedly, I'm focused on the football right now, not as much on the baseball. I don't have a dog in the fight. I love Major League Baseball. I love baseball in general. I'm just a fan of it. So I would be remiss not to speak about the trade deadline. Nothing really moved the needle for me.
Jazz.
You didn't like the
Jazz Chisholm was
You didn't
a
like the Jack Flaherty?
No, I mean I like moves. I just like to me.
I'm saying you didn't like that move. You didn't think that was a big one?
Jack Flaherty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think he did well. He's pitched well, and he moved on, and you got an opportunity to play somewhere else. Did you like it?
I think it could be big for the Dodgers.
They
were struggling with starting pitching. If you're able to add Kershaw, basically putting him back in the rotation for whatever you can get from him, and then add Jack Flaherty too.
And they got Kopech.
He's gonna pitch out the
bullpen, right?
So I think that's two pretty big moves, but they're already a good team. But for them to get back to kind of what you expect, it's been a while since we've seen a Dodgers team kind of go into the All-Star break, and you knew they were good, but not like, hey, bro, they got like 20 losses on the season. Like, they were good, but not like they had been the last few years. And to see them be able to add these three pieces, you're like, oh shit, this could be different.
They added more than just those three. They added some depth. The Dodgers always seem like they are always making their team better. Andrew Friedman is the president there. He's done an unbelievable job. Yeah. Used to be in Tampa, now in LA. They are perennial World Series contenders every single year. So obviously, I do like that. I like the moves they made there. Obviously, the Jazz Chisholm move from Miami.
Jazz likes the big lights.
Jazz
likes us.
He loves the show, huh?
He's a performer. Let's just be straight up about it.
Listen to me. He gets to go there. They say, hey, you're going to play third base the first time in your career in professional baseball. What's he do? Hit 2 home runs. Turns a double play, right? 5-4-3 double play, and then hits 2 home runs. Then the next day, hits a home run, only run of the game at that time, and they're winning 4-2 is what they were winning at the time. Then comes up in the 9th or in the 8th or 7th or 8th, lefty 3-run home run down the line, 2 home runs, 4 home runs, 2 games. Go ahead home run for the Yankees. Jazz Chisholm is probably going to have the highest grossing jersey for the second half of the season in New York City, especially if he continues to do that and they continue to make a run. The big thing in New York was, hey, the only 2 guys we have in our lineup that are doing anything, Aaron Judge and Juan Soto, nobody else can drive them in if they're not driving themselves in. And then you got Jazz Chisholm, who everybody was like not really sure about the trade, and he goes 4 home runs in 2 games. So
with Aaron Judge's bat.
The second one was with Aaron Judge's bat. Sounds good. That's what does Aaron Judge have 39 homers now?
I don't know, but he's impressive, man. Good God, bro. I don't know how many he has. He's still doing it. He hasn't really slowed down. I can tell you that. I know that for sure.
He has officially eclipsed a career 1,000 OPS,
which could, at the end of the season, could be back down in the 900s. But to be at that spot over a career, not a season, that's so impressive. Man. That's so ridiculous.
Impressive.
Yeah.
So hopefully, Jazz seems like they kind of give him a little jolt of energy. So trade deadline's always entertaining. You always see the
39.
last minute, huh?
39
homers.
And then you had DJ LeMahieu with his DJ sighting. He hit a grand slam and a double today to give them a win.
Is that his first home run of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Good for DJ. I mean, DJ's been doing it for a long time.
Hell yeah.
And like Yankee fans are hard on you, and it's tough, especially when you're not playing well. But DJ's he's gonna come up with some big hits. Maybe he figures some stuff out. Double, home run. So good for him. What else we got today, boys? Olympics are still going on. And swimming has never been more electric. Katie Ledecky, very good at her craft, wins the 1,500 freestyle by a wide margin. Like, I want to say, like, lapped people. Like, she finished, sat on the ledge, went and used the bathroom, came back, got back in the pool, and then they finished. Like, type of lead, type of win. Congratulations to her. The women's gymnastics team, gold medal. Congratulations. Apparently, there's some little drama going on there. There was a former, I guess, was it a former gymnast?
Hold on, look at this picture of Ledecky in the pool. There's nobody else in the screen.
Nobody in the screen. And that's even with the Ledecky name. That stretches. Nobody even.
Swimming by herself.
Yeah, that's it.
There's no water that's even moved on the bottom picture either.
Nobody even.
They were so far on the other end of the pool, the water's not even moving on the
You
side.
can't even see a hand. Like there's not even a hand about to come in there. Like nothing.
Let's fight for second.
Hey, congratulations! Just keep adding to the medals.
Like when you had the starting blocks and she's up there, you're like, hey dog, I'm just trying to get that silver. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
Right?
They knew, right? Like, hey,
You gotta
ain't nobody getting her.
Well,
like,
yeah, you got to know what the times they're swimming and
Yeah.
the time she's swimming. Like, hey, bro, look,
a win for us is win the silver.
that's not a rabbit. Like the rabbit's somewhere close, to somewhere near something that's attainable, something
Yeah.
you can kind of see. Man, I don't know where she is. She's not even close to us right
Yeah,
now.
it was Ledecky versus Ledecky.
No doubt. It was a time. Ledecky versus
The clock.
I guess PR, world record, whatever. I don't know if she
Olympic
set the world
record.
record. She set the Olympic record?
Mm-hmm.
Not the
It
world
was
record,
hers.
though. Oh, she broke her own record.
Yeah.
The U.S. gymnastics team, there's some drama. I don't know what the drama was. Anybody know?
Yes, so this is coming from, I don't know her name, but it was a former Olympian that was on the 2020 squad that I believe she won a silver medal. This was when Simone Biles got the spinsies, the turnsies, whatever, when she got lost in the air.
twisties.
The twisties and couldn't compete and actually withdrew from the Olympics. And I think that team in the Olympics got a silver medal. This woman, no longer competing for Team USA, now has a podcast. And she was saying that the 2024
Everybody's got a
team-
podcast
Yeah,
now.
I mean, who can do this? Anybody can do
Anybody
it.
can do this.
So she goes on her podcast that's like in her kitchen at like the dining room table, and she goes off and says that the 2024 team, they're just not built the same. They're people in this generation, they don't work hard, they're lazy, they don't have any real effort. I don't expect them to win. And she said all of that aside from Simone Biles. She's like
Oh,
her
so she
was
didn't
standing.
include Simone Biles. in
Right.
there. Okay.
But then
I thought she did.
no, but Simone Biles took that personally.
Yeah, she's a team girl.
Yeah, and so she made that quote the caption in her Instagram post for after they won the gold with all of her teammates with the gold medal, saying lazy, self-entitled, whatever, about like everything that she said that she thought this Olympic team was. Promptly, this girl
Blocked.
deletes her podcast episode.
The whole podcast.
and
wow.
then is blocked by Simone Biles.
And blocked Jordan Childs. Right?
Yes.
Or Chiles, like you like to say.
Chiles.
Jordan Childs. So, but congratulations. Listen, that's tough. Everybody wants to go out there and make a splash. That's why we are very conscious of, having a conversation and not blasting somebody just to have some clicks.
I'm not that conscious, but yeah, whatever.
I'm conscious. I'm trying to be conscious of it. Sometimes I'll say some things about Zion that doesn't come true. It's part of it. You live and you learn. But the U.S. is putting on a show, I guess. They don't have the most golds, at least last I checked. That could have changed.
They have the most total medals.
They have the most total medals. I did watch Chase Budinger on the beach volleyball court, and was not a great showing for the boys. They didn't play great. It seemed like they were a little out of sync. I don't know anything about beach volleyball other than like the basic rules. I don't know like the strategy or like what they should have done differently. It just seems like it was a little bit of a few unforced errors there, a few too many, and so they are 1-1 in their pool. It seems like if they win this next match, they will move on to the next. I guess like the quarterfinal round, whatever the next rounds are, elimination round if that's what they call it. But I've thoroughly enjoyed. When does breakdancing start? Do y'all know?
That's a very good question. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because I kind of want to watch that.
I'm not sure.
They're pubbing the shit out of breakdancing on the commercials.
Yeah, it's
though.
going to be awesome. We got breakers to watch in 2024 Paris Olympics.
Breakers.
I don't know when it starts, so I can find out though in a second.
Olympics has been good. It's been great. The 7-hour difference kind of throws me off.
August 9th.
August 9th. So, oh wow. So it's like that's gonna be coming up at the end of it,
They'll
right?
pay,
Like,
the steam we'll
Yeah.
hit a point where we're like, okay, are the Olympics over? They're like, we got breakdancing coming.
yeah.
They must be really expecting this to like pop a little bit on camera because you're pubbing it and you put it towards the end of it at all.
I would imagine that there's gonna be a lot of clips posted about it, right? Like it's gonna be viral clips. Like, oh my God, this guy didn't know you could even do that. Contort your body in a way and spin on your head that way or whatever it is. So it's gonna be. I mean,
I wonder who the
impressive.
judges are.
Simon Cowell and I'm just.
Just all of the Jabberwockies.
You know, all
Dave
the
Chappelle.
dancing with the stars. Snoop's electric. He's I mean, I talked about it on Monday, but Snoop needs to be actual like call,
Comment, you want him on the play?
like on the play. I don't want the highlights. I want him in the action. I think that would be great.
Some people are saying it's been a little too much Snoop. They're dogging this Olympic coverage because it's turned.
Oh, the dog and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Well, it's turned into we're not focusing on the sport, but we're making this like a running commentary show, like it's a skit show with Colin Jost and Snoop Dogg, and then you're missing some of like the live events. If you're really dialed into the Olympics, I just feel like it's on forever. So.
I'm not. It's hard to get dialed in because of time difference, right? Like they're playing and they're competing in different times, and like it's hard to like keep up with.
Yeah, and if you're actually paying attention, you spoiler alert because they'll do tape delay and play it at night.
That's what gets me.
Yeah, I can't keep up with it.
That's what gets me. I'm watching. I'm like, wait a minute. I saw this on Twitter already. Like I saw that they already won the gold.
So I feel like I'm.
But
watching,
now I get to watch it.
Yeah, but I feel like I've missed. This is a replay. So where's their live stuff? Like, no, this is the live stuff.
Table tennis. Our table tennis guys making a run. So I found out more information on the drug testing.
We all did.
We all did. If you watched Pat McAfee show.
Yes.
Apparently, there is a mishap in the phone number. Apparently, when you call internationally, you have to add the one.
You have to, you have to.
And the drug tester just didn't think about it, and so he got punished because he couldn't reach Khan. Is it Khan? Mm-hmm. Is that his last name? Ja. Couldn't reach Ja three times, and so if you don't answer your call 3 times, it counts as a failed drug test.
It counted as 3 failed drug tests.
3 failed drug tests. And so he got suspended for a full year. Then he had to go back and he had to work his way up to get qualified for points to be able to get on the Olympic team. So it took him almost 2 years to get back to this point, and he is back with a vengeance. He is in the Sweet 16 of table tennis, and it seems like he is dominating everybody, which is awesome.
The farthest an American has ever made it in table tennis, and this guy barely made the team.
So this guy, look, Pat McAfee show is great. They have a lot more resources. They've done it for a really long time. They're the best at what they do. So I get some of our information from them because, I enjoy the show. It's work. This guy knew from an early age he was going to be a table tennis legend because he left at 14 and went overseas to learn how to play the game.
What was it, from Cali to Sweden, I think?
To Sweden, and then from Sweden to Germany for a little bit. And then
chasing that table tennis dog.
That's it. And then came back, and he is representing the U.S. of A. in the Sweet 16, and seems like he is. I don't know if there's odds-on favorite to win that, but
definitely.
I wonder what his odds are to win the table tennis championship or the gold medal, not the championship.
As a former 2-time champion in the Sinlaw area, I can say that.
Here's my question:
carry the torch
can you
for me.
return one of his serves?
Hell, no.
Not
if
one,
he didn't
right?
want me to.
Yeah, you couldn't return one.
Now, in my prime.
No.
In my prime.
No.
I put a kid through a window.
No.
Had him chasing everything.
Yeah, but it's not Ja.
No, but I was.
Not Ja.
It's might be my best athletic
You've seen some of my table tennis game.
Yes.
It's not bad.
You got a different skill set than I. It's just like our golf game. You got a little bit more to work with than I do, but 2 different styles.
Yeah, you're good. You consistent. I'm more of a.
Don't leave one up in the zone.
No. No. And I try to get the angles with the backhand to cut the net. You know what I mean?
Well, you got a lot of reach too.
It's kind of my thing. So I try to do. Now I don't always
cover
get
a lot
it
of
over.
the table.
Austin Knoll, a great table tennis player.
Hand out.
Plays
really
exactly how you would imagine. You can hit as hard as you want. He's just gonna.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna make you make the mistake. I'm gonna make you make the mistake, cuz.
Yep, whole way. Every now and then he'll give you the little backhand flick for the finisher, but Aaron Knoll, great table tennis player. Heated matches between the brothers in the upstairs room at their parents' house. Seen it. I've seen more motion between both of them in that game than I've seen them on the baseball field, without a doubt. Impressive. Did you find the odds?
I actually forgot what I was doing.
That's
Here we
of
go.
course. Okay, we're getting there.
Hey, medicine.
Anything else that y'all have seen on
USA basketball, dude?
Oh yeah, USA Best, South Sudan. Puts on another good performance.
Did we know the final of that game?
I think they won by 14.
14?
14 or 15 points. I could be wrong, but I think it was like 83, 100, and something like that. 86, 100, and 100, so 100 something. I don't know. Joel Embiid
103-86.
103-86.
There you go.
Yep. So 17-point game, 17-point win.
Just narrowly missed to cover. The spread was down to 24.5 after the 1-point victory where it was 45.5. It moved down to 24.5. A lot of people are hopping on Team USA. Sudan, the Sudanese cover again.
Still got cracked over the head.
Yep. Well, dang.
Joel Embiid was in the starting lineup, then not in the starting lineup, and then didn't play.
He's not healthy right now, dude.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's like out there doing this thing. And I get it, man. Like everybody wants to be a part of a national team. So playing for, USA is something that's really cool and I would love to have on your bucket list and love to have like on your belt. But I don't think he's that healthy right now, and it's kind of crazy that he's doing this, knowing that you need to get healthy, knowing that you still have a season that you need to get ready for. Because if I remember this correctly, he ended. I know he played in the playoffs, but like he ended the year injured this year. So it's like crazy that he's even doing this. But I mean, it is what it is. He's there.
Yeah, well, it always feels like there's going to be an odd man out because you saw Jason Tatum get the. Your parents called me over, Steve Kerr, so you're going to get the start today because nobody's happy.
I would never want to be the one that's actually choosing that squad because. No. When you're choosing that squad, you're kind of trying to take the best players that you could possibly find. But basically then at that same time, you're sitting there saying like, all right, bro, this isn't an all-star game, so we're not necessarily sitting here trying to play everybody. Like we're literally trying to win. So then you get put in them situations where you sit at Jason Tatum for an entire game. He doesn't play, which sounds crazy.
Right.
But like that's kind of what the situation is. Like it's hard to like.
Finals MVP.
I guess like if it's hard to sit here and say like maybe we should get like the best 6. And then we got to get like rotational bench guys that we knows they're here to play a part, to play a role. But then that's hard to do it if you do that, and then you're still knocking down that number of actual stars. Because then at that point, somebody like Jason Tatum doesn't make the team.
Right.
Right. So it's like that's a weird spot to be in. That's a weird spot to put it. But that's
it's a tough job to have.
Yeah, it is.
It's a tough job to have because you're coaching the best players in the world. Some of the best players in the world, best players in America. And they're all on the same team, and they're all alphas, and they're all the top players in the NBA. And there's only 5 guys that can play at a time.
Well, and it's just not nearly as the cakewalk as it used to be. Like whenever you had, Chuck Daly that coached the Olympic team, was like, I'm going to start MJ, Charles Barkley, and whoever else, but those are my stars. But also you're winning every game by 60. Now that it's a bit more competitive, Steve Kerr actually has to go matchup based.
Well, that's the thing. It's more
Tatum,
matchup
you might not
now.
play today.
It's not a bit. It's a lot more competitive.
Yeah.
Not even a bit more. It's a lot more.
There's a lot of matchups to be had, right? Like you're gonna play teams that are guard heavy, right? And so you don't want to go and play Embiid and these guys and have them out on the perimeter against these smaller players and allow them to just kind of be ran up and down the court. And then you got teams like Serbia, who are big men, who have a lot of big men. So you want to play more centers instead of more guards, and so it's just it's matchup based, and that's the way it works.
But it's weird though because Tatum is one of those like wing type of dudes, wing type of talent where he's long. He's obviously not a big man, but he ain't a guard.
Right.
So like it's weird that somebody like him would not play. But I mean, Kurt gave the expression, and he literally said, "Well, we wanted to play more big men, so he didn't play because of that reason." So it's, obviously he's playing behind some other guys that are in that same wing situation.
And I would imagine he had the conversation with him. It wasn't like it was shocked. I would assume
either before or after, 100%. Like
I would assume there was before.
I would assume too, but even if it wasn't, like there's no way there wasn't a conversation.
Yeah,
that conversation was had.
Have you found the odds?
No, you can only bet on the country, and China is far and away the favorite.
Okay. Forrest Gump was there though. He would have won the gold medal.
Yeah, I think he did.
He did win the gold medal.
Hardest competition he had was himself or the wall.
On the movie, or the actual
the board.
The board.
Fold up one side of it.
That's it.
If you want to get better.
I was never a guy. I never did that. Did you do that?
No, we had a ping pong robot, dude. You fill it up with a bunch of table tennis balls, and it would spit them out at you.
You growing up?
Yeah.
Well, you are fancy.
This was a big deal in the Courtney household.
On the brick wall. You know what I mean? I never had a ping pong table in my house. I was had to.
I feel like, I believe this wholeheartedly. I believe a lot of people either grow up with a pool table or a ping pong table.
I didn't grow up with either.
I had neither.
Yeah, but if you do, it's one or the other. And I feel like a lot of pool table, I guess Alexandria must be like bopping economically. I didn't know that. Somebody has one that you know.
Yep.
And it's either a pool table or a table tennis table.
Or you get lucky and you have a friend that has both, like I did.
Yeah, but once you have the topper on the pool table, it's not the same. It's not regulation.
I don't think it was a topper though. I think it was a topper actually.
Yeah, you have the pool table, then you just put the table tennis on
But
top
that's
of it.
that's the same. It's the same length.
No, you need
Oh, you
it's
want
not
the
the
whole
same.
thing, huh?
Yeah, you need stability. Can't trust that net.
No, I think the net was tight.
Mm.
Net was tight.
It's not regulation.
Great sleepovers.
First world
You go
problems.
home, sleep over. You're in like. No, I never had this, but I had buddies that had like a game room, right? Where like TV, couch, ping pong, pool table, whatever.
Air hockey table if they're
and
real
you
rich.
go down there and you go to the fridge and you're crushing Cokes.
Y'all had the
and,
game
like,
room too?
Our house? The game room was outside.
Yeah.
Get your ass
The
outside.
game room was outside.
Door lock.
Yeah,
Click. Don't
game
come back
room,
in
game
here.
room was outside. Hey, you know what? Hey, it's 2:30 in the morning. It was phone calls to the house. Hey, can y'all stop playing basketball outside at 2:30? Okay. There's no like, oh no, we're gonna go play like, maybe some video games, but there was no those in the room.
You were the family that if you went over there like y'all sitting down too much, go outside.
Yeah, it was. Well, there. Yeah,
I'm bored. Go play.
there was.
Oh yeah, I definitely got kicked out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you doing in here?
Not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
like on some like you just get outside, go outside.
Yeah.
Come back
Go
here
do
right now.
something.
Red Laurels.
I'll come back here.
Red Laurels was right down the street. I used to just live there in the summer. I was as a
That's
kid.
where your bad habits started. Okay, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of sweats over there.
You go out there and you play basketball, not ping pong, racquetball.
Mm.
You play
I still don't understand the rules.
play
to
handball where like you get smacked in the head with a racquetball. Then you go to outdoor tennis and you play home run. It was just we got in trouble there sometimes, but kids would be kids. You know what I mean?
No
It was
better
nice.
feeling than absolutely ripping a tennis ball like a baseball.
All right.
Where you're just like this.
Right.
I'm hitting this over the fence and like
Man,
stop doing that.
Me and my brothers, we had this thing where we had so like my next door neighbors had like this big open land that they had.
A yard?
And we used to have, yeah. Well, no, it wasn't a yard. It was literally just like open land. It wasn't even a yard. Like they would manicure the yard, and then like every like 2 months they would cut the grass
Yeah.
and like the big open land, and there was so like we had all this, bro. We had this go-kart that we used to flip religiously. Like as if it's a wonder I never left out of there with like a broken neck or something like that. We would flip it all the time, and then I remember begging my dad for I don't know probably a good like 6 months. Like, hey dog, let me get this 4-wheeler, dog. Like I'm trying to get this 4-wheeler, dog. Finally did it. So we used to just that was our thing, and we would go play some basketball. We go steal some golf balls on the golf course, that type of thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Bad
That's
kids. Kids being bad.
We used to steal golf balls on the golf course and then take them into the open land, bat like it was a baseball, and just hammer these balls. And just be like, oh my god, look at how far that. Give me another one.
Where'd it go? What's over there? I don't know.
I don't know. It ain't going down there.
Listen.
That
was
open land backed up into like this big old coulee that was
Yeah.
over there. And so like if balls and everything got lost, we were like, yeah,
It's over.
ain't going down there.
like the Sandlot.
Gone forever.
Monster. You ain't going to the beast.
Ain't going down
but
there.
that was our game room. Was outside, which I think it's a good thing. And look, there's things we said like not great hand-eye coordination with ping pong. Like that'd be great. I just didn't have that. You can't play ping pong outside either.
Oh,
Like inside ping pong's the best ping pong.
we had like an atrium. We put it
Oh,
out
so
there,
you-
so
oh,
you're
yes.
you're sweating
Wow.
out there. Like
yeah,
this
but
is
like,
game time.
No wind.
No wind.
That's why you can't play outside because like.
That's
if
gotta be a
there's
covered
if
environment.
it's gusty winds. It's not great.
No, it's like beer pong outside.
Yeah, not good.
No,
Not good. Everybody like the beer pong in the pool. Great in theory.
until you do it.
Until
Not good.
execution wise, not great
Not good.
because the game's gonna last forever because you're gonna do it and it's gonna
Go this
just
way.
go everywhere. Like kind of like my golf ball was last Friday, but that's because I broke my driver.
Yes.
Not my fault.
Not that's big theme here.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that one really like the face of the driver got broken. So
What do you think the shipping on this is?
it was $3.
No, I'm talking about time wise.
A couple weeks out. It needs to be here before like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because now you're like, I can't play golf because I don't have a
Well,
driver.
I think they're gonna give me a demo head to the driver.
See, I had a
So
good
you should be swinging
childhood.
that
You have
three-wood,
you have a good
No,
adulthood.
Yeah. Need the driver.
Living
back
with the
in the
3-wood and the irons until.
We're making progress with the driver. Need it back.
Yeah, don't
I
want
think I'm
to.
gonna go with the shorter shaft too.
Yeah, we experimented.
Yeah, we experimented with that.
We don't want to see the driving iron. I don't want to see that ever again. At least my short experience.
Oh no, you got didn't.
That was
get
a bad day for it.
Yeah, you had a bad day for it, but
Hammered the
Since-
driver.
since then has
Better.
been wonderful.
Ah,
Okay, has been wonderful.
Oh, one more Olympic thing that we didn't touch on. Did you see Team USA win the bronze at literally the last second?
On rugby?
Yeah.
team.
Unbelievable.
The women's rugby team.
That was actually going to be my curtain call, but
Oh, my bad.
no,
So-
it's fine. We'll talk about it, and I'll reiterate 'cause it's worth talking about multiple times. First of all, so you know how your Explore page on Instagram has just starts popping up? That rugby player, what's her name?
Oh, she's everywhere.
Iona. She is everywhere, and she's a beast, dude. Unbelievable.
She made some girl from Australia. I think it was.
There's a few clips of her just forearming these girls, and throwing them right to the ground.
where they have no intention of tackling her. They're just like, I'm trying to get in the way, but she's like, "Come, I'm going at you." She's not running for green grass.
Well, and the way they won. So the way it was explained to me was that's equivalent to a football player scoring a having a 99-yard touchdown on the last play of the game.
It's like a kick return for a touchdown.
It's like, hey,
Auburn
you have
kicked
one,
six.
you hand it off, and the running back runs 99 yards for a touchdown at the buzzer, right? And so that's what they did. They have never won a medal in rugby. And then they had an influx of money to the rugby program by a generous donor. I forget exactly who it was. I read the story. I think she donated like $4 million to the U.S. rugby team, and allowed them resources to do the things they need to do to be able to get better. And that resulted in their first ever medal. It kind of reminded me, in like any type of last minute touchdown in football that's like improbable. Like you always have, they're on the field, but it reminded me of like the Bluegrass Miracle, right? Where like the water jug got dumped on Hal Mummy, and the crowd's on the field, and all of a sudden count, and
Jack
Devery
Hunt
Henderson scores a touchdown, or Jack Hunt, whoever you think it's going to be at the time. They look very alike.
Mm-hmm.
And, they score a touchdown to win the game at the buzzer. That's kind of what because they were kind of celebrating. Australia was celebrating, and then quickly realized as this chick is running, oh no.
It's over.
Ain't nobody catching her. She just got a trip. She got Danny Jones this thing, and she didn't.
I guess there's no like prevent defense in rugby. You just play straight up.
Yeah, I don't know the rules.
Me either.
I don't know all of the rules of rugby, but I think it's awesome. I think they're badass, and I wouldn't want to play it because, it's a lot of people hitting a lot of people.
I feel like you would be a good rugby player.
I do too.
You don't want that side of you to come out anymore?
Oh, it's not even that. That's a lot. That's big. That's big men hitting big men, no pads, and they're fast.
Quad it up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They must do a great. I wonder what kind of tackling instruction they give, because them dudes
Michelle Kang announced a $4 million gift to U.S. Women's on July at some point this year. Sorry,
them dudes don't be injured like that, and they do a lot of tackling.
They don't.
No pads and no helmet and none of that.
It seems like they're tackling the right way, or trying to.
Yeah, obviously.
No hip drops.
No hip drops. And you ain't gonna see many of those in the NFL this year.
Now here's the other thing: you're not having a lot of rugby. Doesn't have a lot. It's like old school, pound it down your throat football.
Les
right?
Miles style.
You don't have a lot of. Crossing routes where the quarterback throws the ball high and the receiver gets smashed. Right? That's not.
Not a lot of crossers.
That's not possible in rugby. So you don't have that, but you still have people hitting people that are big without pads. That's what you have.
Yeah.
Or getting picked up over their head to score a touchdown.
Or getting picked up over your head. And you get in the scrum. That's what it's called. The scrum is whenever they get down, and then you kind of flip it to, whoever.
The next scrummer.
Yeah, the next. Yeah, whatever.
EA Sports did come out with a rugby game one time that I got from Blockbuster. No idea how to play it, but it seemed like fun at the time, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
How was that?
It didn't last long.
Did you bring it back on time?
Yeah,
or?
No, pop in this Madden. It might have been a same-day delivery. I'm back.
I'm here for this Madden, but let me go ahead and grab this one
See
too.
what this rugby's
Never
like.
touched it.
No. That's when you would go check at Blockbuster, and you could be like, they had the game case, so you had to look behind and be like, fuck. It's not here. Somebody else got it, and they've been having it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Bring that shit
Late.
back.
They won't bring it
Late.
back, and they brought it back scratched.
Yeah. Or you have to go
Bullshit.
check the returns. You have to ask the people, be like, hey, can you go look in that drop off to see if this is here?
What a time. You had to be there.
Had to
What
be
a
there.
time.
Had to be there. The kids these days, they know nothing about that stuff.
And just download it with mom's credit card.
They don't even leave. You got to go physically get
You
it.
gotta go anywhere.
Why
You
do
can't
it?
wait in line. There's no like.
I ain't
oh,
got no
damn, is it
space
gonna be
left on
sold
this
out?
thing.
Yeah.
You gotta upgrade. You
Get your
gotta
ass
upgrade
up.
the
Come outside.
Yeah. And then they go play it outside. That's them getting outside. It's just it's
Different day.
Different.
different world. It's okay. World changes.
Yelling
all
at
the
their
time.
homie because they on the
Yeah, on the heads. Yeah, they
The
have to be
headset.
in person. They can play online. They don't know
no
anything.
sleepovers. I
No.
play you on the game.
They don't know anything
Yeah,
about a
yeah,
rumble
yeah.
pack.
Nah. No dunk contest at 2 a.m. anymore outside.
No football on your knees in the living room.
Oh, Munchkin ball.
Used to love that, boy. Be breaking fools off.
That's it. Boy, the games that we
Get
used
you
to
some.
the games that we used to invent, huh?
Oh yeah. See, I thought we
Inventing-
invented that, but I love that it's worldwide,
What's it
Oh
then?
yeah.
everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Put down.
Wiffle baseball in the backyard.
We did slide and tag. We would, my brother would have a buddy over, and I would automatic pickle. I'd be in the middle, and we just run and put
Where they
two
just
bases
smash
down.
you with the ball?
Yeah,
Yep,
We used
that's
to
how it
play.
works.
it's a form of bullying.
We used to play trampoline football.
Oh, we used to
You
play.
should have more broken bones. Now that I'm
You didn't
hearing
want to.
this.
You didn't want to get bounced off that thing because it was not good for you, boy.
We used to play slam ball.
Oh,
with the
yeah.
trampolines.
Hey,
we used to play basketball.
we literally.
There's-
It'd basically be tackle a man with the football on the trampoline or like 2-on-2. So somebody's blocking, you try to run,
Oklahoma drill.
and you getting smashed. We was bringing the heat too.
There's times where you go up there and you get double bounced on the goal,
Oh.
and then you end up. Oh boy, you're going end over and like you're holding onto the side of the net so you don't fall down. Like it's.
I'm about to touch some grass.
How did we not break anything? I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Our times when it was like it'd be hot as hell in the summer, you got there to play the same game, and like you get tackled, slide on it, give you a
Oh,
little brush
yeah.
burn on the arm.
You get a little burn on that thing.
Cause you'd be hot as shit on there. Just keep playing. Hey, we used.
I'm locked
we used-
in now.
But we used to get after it outside. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I used to play tackle man with the football with my older brothers. My older brother was 5 years older than me, and all his friends were 5 years older. So they had like this joke. They thought it was the funniest thing ever. It took me a while to catch on to as a kid, but they would literally
Give
be-
you the football.
You was hit a lot.
everybody go grab it, but nobody touches it, and I'm the one that grabs it. I'm like, oh shit. I think that's where it started. I was like, oh boy, he got to survive right here. Let's go.
That's what got you agility. Listen, that's how you become an athlete. You got to figure out how to adapt. You got to survive in those situations. That's why little brothers always end up being probably usually better than
They get beat on a
the
lot.
older brother because they got to figure it out.
Yeah,
And don't quit.
that's real. Don't quit.
Yeah.
You ain't let back in. and
You're
they
lucky
gonna
to
wear
be
you
invited out here.
Oh yeah, don't quit. You can't quit.
Mm-mm.
Not up in here.
But these kids don't do that as much anymore.
No.
They
It's the oldest podcast we've done.
This is what?
We're old men yelling at the
No,
clouds
but this is
about
not
kids.
that. It's not that old though. This is like everybody's still like COVID. I saw it right whenever they couldn't do shit. The kids got sick of staying inside all the time. So at least in our neighborhood, they're out there playing basketball, pickup football, cool stuff. So like they still do it. It's just now it's a lot more organized. Like when they go to practices and they come back and they don't do any of the stuff after. Back then it wasn't as much organized practice. It was more, hey, let's just freestyle this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go to Big Island.
Big Island. But who's not freestyling it is LSU football. And I'm bringing that up is because I'm going through some of these conversations that Brian Kelly had today. And, everybody's talking about the 12-team playoff, and everybody's talking about, oh, man, this is going to be great for the SEC. They're going to get more teams. Yeah, I agree. But I think people assume that going 9-3 is going to get them into the playoff, and I don't think that's going to be the case. Brian Kelly doesn't think that's the case. He thinks that they need to go at least 10-2 to make the playoff.
No. He said no. He said you need to 10-2 for sure to be in.
Yeah.
9-3 kind of gives you a chance, but we kind of alluded to this. We talked about this before. The way they have that 12-team structure set up bodes for you only guaranteed 2, maybe 3, depending on where the losses and how the losses come, SEC teams. Because if at the end of the year, usually like that CFP and maybe what is the media poll and or the coaches poll will probably all be different, right? So at that point, I can see we've seen it before in this league, not just LSU teams, but teams in this league that have 3 losses that are literally doing this at the end of the year. And that ain't an SEC team you want to play at that part of the year. But the way they have this thing set up is I would imagine you'll probably see 3 for the most part every year. Getting that 4th and or 5th team in is going to be hard just because of how they have it set up.
Yeah, I agree with.
So 10-2, I think, is a spot where you're almost for sure in, pretty much.
And I guess it takes some of the emphasis away on like a late season loss, because you saw it happen to Georgia last year, because it was in the 4-team playoff where it was they should be in, but the last thing you saw was a loss. So it's like they can't be in. They didn't win their division. It's like they're one of the best 4 teams in the country.
Right.
Now, if that happens, it feels like you'll still be in. So not so much of you getting the shaft at the end of the year where it used to be okay if you lost, like even in the early year, like if LSU were to lose to like last year or 2 years ago when you dropped the Florida State game, and then you look up, you go, well, LSU's now they're going to be in the SEC championship if they win that, because they were hot at the right time.
Right.
And now it doesn't feel like there's as much of an impetus on that, because you have a little bit more wiggle room, and it's not so much of what have you done for me lately.
Right. Like at the end of the year, you got to think at the end of the year, last year, you
That
sat
Oklahoma
here.
game's got me.
I love it. It's on my birthday.
Yeah, it's starting to get highlighted for me.
Well, here's the thing.
It's been highlighted for me.
You ended
Well,
the year
in
last
different
year. You
reasons.
had Georgia was 13-1. You had Missouri who was 11-2. So they both won bowl games. So you got 12-1, 10-2. Really, you had Alabama who won bowl games. So they were 12-2 at the end of the year. They were 11-2. 10-2 before they won the playoff game.
Yeah.
Playoff game. Yeah, when they won the conference championship game and then they won the playoff game or the
They
first
lost the
playoff
playoff game.
Lost the playoff.
Alabama
game.
lost the playoff game.
No, they lost the championship. Or was it? It's just that
They
one game, yeah. Right? So yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
that's
they
just
lost
that one
to
game.
Michigan.
Right. So they lost that game. And then you had Ole Miss who was 11-2. Also, they won the playoff. They won their bowl game, correct? So like that's my point right there. Is you're sitting there with all these teams that have 2 losses. That's 4 teams that had 2 or less losses right there. They're pretty much gonna be in. But I mean, every year if you're gonna sit here and say for sure you're gonna have 2 losses or just 4 teams with 2 losses or less in the league, I'm not sure of that. So 3 almost for sure, but you get to that 10-2 spot,
Yeah.
you're pretty much in.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. I agree. I think 10-2 is a magic number for sure.
Because
Getting in.
LSU was 10-3 last year with the playoff. So
Yeah.
that 9-3 would have left them out. I know with the playoff, with the bowl game.
Yeah.
That 9-3 would have left them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think people kind of don't realize is everybody was looking at the expanded playoff last year going, oh, how can you keep LSU out? It's like they wouldn't have made it
They wouldn't
considering
have.
what the rules
and
are.
honestly, they wouldn't have because of, which is weird, which is why I think if we thought the conversation around 4 teams in and that 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 team that gets left out was wild, watch what it'll be this year. Because last year, you know who would have gotten in front of them?
Liberty.
No. Out of the SEC.
Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah.
When LSU went to Missouri, beat the socks off them at Missouri,
Well-
but beat them. I mean, you went to their house, you beat them. Like if I'm walking out of there and I beat you. I ran up the score on you. You stayed in the game. I beat you. I beat the socks off you. I don't care.
Yeah.
Now if I come to your house and I put up 50, I beat the socks off you. I don't care if you score 49. I beat the socks off you. Right? So they went to their house. They beat them.
They went for 2 on the first possession.
Yeah, they went to their
Missouri's
house. They
like, this
beat
defense
them.
is ass.
Yeah.
And then now you make the playoff in front of me. Why? Because we lost to Alabama, the team that's in the playoff late in the season. That's tough. So if the conversation is going to get wild this year when it comes to who's going to be those 11, 12 teams and who's going to be left out on the outside looking in.
Part of the big reason why they won that game at Missouri last year is because the defense came up at the end with a big stop, right? They had a couple turnovers. They forced a couple turnovers. They hadn't done that very often throughout the course of the year or that game. Obviously, the offense scored points, but we weren't able to stop them. Then they stopped them, right?
Got 1 stop, and it was Harold
But
Perkins'
we had a great day
interception.
Wednesday, huh?
With the
Remember that
interception. Was that?
Remember, we had a great day.
Great day. Great day. It was a bachelor party.
We pushed the sun back a little bit that day. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was good.
That was 11 a.m. kick, too.
Ooh.
listen.
Trust me. We was
We
11
know.
a.m. right.
Yeah.
We know. It was a long day. Sitting by the pool. It was good times. Weather was perfect.
Ooh, beautiful day.
Weather was perfect.
Oklahoma, Texas, same day.
Oklahoma, Texas, same day. We were watching that and on the other TV. That was outside as well.
Gus Johnson.
It was great, yeah.
He won't let you sleep.
I know. And Gus, I was hoping that maybe Gus would make the transition over with Texas and Oklahoma to the SEC so we could hear more of them. Ain't happening. No. But anyway, the reason why LSU won that is because Harold Perkins made a big play with an interception at the end of the game, and it was something that we have been desperately needing. Well, Brian Kelly's touched on him a little bit this was it
Rotary Club,
and talked about how he expects Harold Perkins to reach the absolute top of his potential this year because he's physically developed,
equipped.
and he's already been equipped. But I think he's finally feels
Well,
like
he
he's
wasn't
physically
because he wasn't
developed.
heavy enough.
Right,
before.
and that's my question is when he says developed, that has to mean like, hey, he's finally put on the weight that we expect him to put, but he's also flying around at the same type of speed that he had, right? Like, I think that's kind of what he means.
Yeah.
Right? He also had a lot to say about Blake Baker and that combination, and I think that's going to be a huge thing. He also mentioned the defensive side of the football. I mean, the defensive line.
Yeah.
Talked about how there's more depth there than people think,
Yeah.
and that a lot of these young guys are going to be ready to play, which makes me feel like is that coach speak? Is that him just trying to build it up, or does he really believe that these guys, as freshmen, these young guys are ready to step in?
I truly think he believes that this team does have those guys, because if you go back to 2 years ago when he talked about the offensive line and basically said, we're not where we need to be there. So he had no problems coming out and saying that then, and I still think he goes about, doing those things the same way as he did it then as he's doing it now, in the sense of like, I'm gonna tell you what I really kind of think about is right here. I think he believes that, and I get the feeling that he thinks, which is what I kind of was hoping they would have, is a deep group. Maybe not a group where it's one or two absolute star-studded top 15 type of guys for sure, but it's a group that's well-rounded and it's a group that's deep, and that's one position or positions, if you will, where it's not only needed, it's a necessity, but it's what people do these days too, where we're going to rotate guys through. We're going to keep fresh guys coming. We're going to keep a fresh 3 to 4 coming at you, and if we can do that all game, we're in a good spot. Now, maybe we don't have one or two of those guys who are a top 10 draft guy. That's okay. But if we got quality and we got quantity there, if we can keep rolling those through, I think it's something that could really work for him this year. So I'm interested to see where it goes, because if you get solid play up there, top 50. I'm just saying. we talk top 50. I'm just saying, top 50.
Top 30. Maybe.
And I think he addressed that. 1,000 yards. Maybe. Anything can happen. I think he addressed that because he did catch a lot of ire from, I would say, like the fan base and like the media of why he didn't play younger guys last year. Like, you had Deshaun Womack that would come in and play and look good and play.
Yeah, but you got to be ready.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think he's saying that those guys that you wanted to see last year, you're definitely going to see this year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, I would say for Deshaun Womack and Whit Weeks are two guys that the defense was such a problem that's like, just play the young guys because at least they're exciting and they give you a little bit of.
Well, you didn't have anybody coaching them up either.
That's the real issue.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's why they have to be better.
You didn't have anybody coaching up to Deshaun Womack and say, hey, no, this is what you do when this happens. When you see this
Pete Jenkins wasn't coaching him?
I mean, Pete could do all he could do, but he didn't come into the middle of the year. Now you got two. You got a guy, a specific.
Two?
No, one specific coach for him, right? Yeah. You have an edge guy and you have an inside guy.
Right.
Right? So, like, that's a big thing is you have your own. That's NFL shit, right? Like, hey, we're going to work on you, on your moves, on your pass rush skills, on how to drop back into coverage whenever you have to. Like, this guy's a freshman coming from high school to college at the highest level outside of the NFL, and he don't have a coach telling him how to adjust to this.
You gave him no bag.
You gave him no chance to succeed, right? Like, you have that now. You've spent money on the defensive side with your coaching staff. You've brought in the best of the best. You've brought in the guys who are going to be able to recruit. You've got the guys who can be able to develop you, and you've already brought in the talent. You've had great recruiting classes. You have the talent. Now you have the coaches to go and develop that talent. I think they have the opportunity. I'm not saying they're going to be a top 10 defense, but they're going to be a lot better than we're last year.
Yeah, I also think it speaks a lot to the building and the building that they've built and the culture, if you will, that they've built there. Because think about what you just said. If I bring in a young kid and I basically sold you on the opportunity to play, the opportunity to get developed, and the opportunity to go to the next level, and then you come in and we don't have a defensive line and our edge coach for you for the majority of the season, and you were able to retain pretty much all of those players, tells me a lot about what you brought into the building, where you have everything going, what these kids can see and what you're selling about going forward. So that lets me know, okay, this is in a good spot because these kids have bought in to what they didn't have before. You could have easily said, hey, bro, I can't be in this.
Yeah.
I didn't get any better this year. Let me go somewhere else. I've had a million other people courting me. I'll go here instead. Instead, you were able to keep these kids here. That bodes well for what you can do this year as well.
I wouldn't even say you kept kids here, but you did bring – I would you struggled in the portal at defensive tackle. Like there was multiple opportunities to get the bigger names, and you weren't able to do it. And so I would say it was kind of a bit of a swing and miss because probably players saw what happened on the LSU defensive line last year with Mikie Wingo, who was somebody they wanted to bring back, and he did exactly what you said. Like, I'm not coming back to this because Matt House was still on the staff. Yeah. Like whenever he made the decision.
Well, you had a second rounder that didn't do anything last year.
Right.
Like, shows you how talented he was and how much he didn't get developed.
Right. He left whenever it made all the sense in the world for him to come back and actually be a first-round pick because the measurables got him drafted alone. He didn't do really anything.
Well, no, I mean.
Listen to me.
Yes and no. I mean,
I didn't know he was going to be a second. If they told me you're going to be a second rounder, I would have
I'm about to say him being a second rounder with the injury history he already has, and if he had a pretty good feel of that would maybe be his floor, or maybe third round was his floor, completely understand.
I had no idea.
You could come back and be a first rounder next year, and you'll make more money, but you're also a year closer to free agency with a lot less risk of injury while you're making money this year. So if he knew that maybe third round was his floor instead of staying another year to go back, I get it. Completely get it.
Yeah, it just felt like from our perspective, like when you had him, you really didn't get to see him develop.
From a fan's perspective, you wanted to see him come back because you want to see what would happen if he finally got to where his talent said
just
he
one
was
year
gonna
with
get,
him,
right? And that's a fan take on it, right? That is, hey, that's what we want to see. That's not knowing what the behind the scenes stuff is going on.
Because you got to think of it this way, like. Yeah, would it be great to come back here? Yeah, could he possibly have gotten paid to come back here? But let's just say, and I'm throwing a very arbitrary, I don't know the ins and outs of these numbers here. But let's just say to come back here, they said, we'll give you $500,000 to come back here. Okay, that $500,000 for 1 year, or I can go play in the league and get closer to a multi-year, locked up, multi-million-dollar deal. Which one are you going to do? If you know your floor is X amount of spot where you're going to get paid probably that $500,000 where you got drafted at. So you're like,
in second round, you're gonna get
paid that $500,000 where you got drafted. I'm good. I'm gone.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of where the situation was.
Yep, no doubt. I was actually gonna talk about. Oh, that's what I want to say. So I think I kind of like the way Brian Kelly has approached this offseason. Right, because there's a lot of temptation as a coach to go out there and hype everybody up at like this crazy level, right? We used to see it with Les. Oh, the offense is, we're lighting it up in practice. We're throwing it all around, and like Coach O comes in and says, we are, whatever he wants to say, like just pandering to the fans, like making it almost over-exaggerating the hype. Because that's what they want to hear. It gets clicks. It gets all these types of things. I think that there's something to be said for, hey, a coach who's going to go out there, and he's going to give you something. He's going to talk about the improvements, but he's going to be kind of matter of fact. And I'm talking about the way he's speaking on Nuss, right? Like, people ask about Nuss. Yeah, I think you saw what he could do in the bowl game, right? Who wouldn't want to root for Nussmeier? He's been here. He's waited out his turn. To me, that tells me he's got a ton of confidence. Mm-hmm. In Garrett Nussmeier, where he doesn't have to go out
and sell him to you.
Right? And I think he's doing the same thing with some of the guys on the defensive side. And at the same time, he's helping these guys in the way that they play the year, because now the fans who don't see the practice, don't see workouts, don't see the way that they develop, so he's not giving them this thing, oh, this guy is supposed to have 12 sacks this year. This guy's supposed to be a first-team All-American this year based off of the conversation that's happening. He's like, no, these guys are going to play. They're going to play well, and they're progressing. I like that way of speaking on the team, right? And I think that gives me more confidence in the confidence he's got in the guys than if he was just out there, oh, we're this, we're that, we're this, we're that, and just trying to almost pump them up. Am I wrong on that?
No. I mean, I think he's got, but we always knew, like, he's got more of a CEO approach to how he goes about these conversations. I mean, this is a guy that's 5 years straight before coming here, had won 10-plus games every year, so he kind of had a really good idea of how to build and sustain and go with the program that way, and that's how he's done his thing. So being able to come here, and we kind of saw, when it comes to Nuss, we kind of saw that relationship. We saw that belief kind of cultivated in him all the way back to in my opinion, the Walker Howard situation, right? When you chose to keep Nuss here over a Walker Howard, and in my opinion, it was, I think he's better than you or he's ahead of you at that point, and you kept it there. That lets you kind of know where he thought Nuss was and how close he thought Nuss was and how much he thought Nuss needed to do to be able to get into the spot to where he is right now. Now, I'll go back and say it. Like, people try to dumb it down because I think people almost look at like 300 yards, throwing for 300 yards like it's like run-of-the-mill these days, and it's like average. And you forget, like, think back to Jaden's first 5 games last year. Think back to Joe Burrow's first 5 games in 18. Nuss's first start, like true first start in a bowl game, is throwing for 300-plus yards, right? Like, that doesn't happen often, and this is off of teams, off of people who have been playing all year and have a good feel of what's going on. I think the quicker he's able to get on schedule with these receivers, which I think is going to be a sneaky group of receivers again, and I'm not sitting here saying Heisman first round. Like, I'm not saying that. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what it has to be. But what I am saying is the quicker he can get on schedule with these dudes, bro, with the line they have up front, with the talent they have in the backfield, with the experience they have in this offense, yeah, bro, I'm not expecting a ton of a drop-off. I'm just truly not. I'm not sitting here saying it's going to be the best offense in the country, but I'm not expecting a ton of a drop-off.
Right, 100%. And I think the way he's going about that conversation makes me feel really good about it. There's not a lot of hype. It's like, hey, let me go show you on the field type of thing. And to me, you'd want that. You don't want someone going out there and just saying all this crazy stuff, hyping people up when, like, they haven't really played anybody yet. You know, you don't really know. They haven't even gotten on the field.
Setting yourself up for failure when
Exactly.
you have week 1 versus USC. It's like, oh, I thought this was a championship contender. And he did mention some things that this program has shown where this is the ingredients for a championship contender, which I think is the most impressive thing that he said. He's like, this is one of the best summers I've seen in 15 years of training, commitment, and meeting expectations. One of the most accountable football programs I've seen in my time doing this. That doesn't mean they're going to win the championship, but those are the ingredients for a championship football team. Like, that really,
that's what you want, right?
That speaks volumes to me that, like, they're working on their own.
100%, right? And it took him 3 years, right? That's what.
No, he's been kind of like battling for this to be what he wanted in terms of like accountability.
Absolutely.
And doing what the right things are for the program.
I mean, if you go look at all the top coaches ever, that's the main thing, is having the players be accountable for themselves, right? Whether it's self-policing the team, you have leaders on the team doing the things they want, but not really having to do much because everybody's kind of pulling in the same direction. And so, you know, he had to come in here and clean that up over the last few years, and he's done that, and it feels like this is a culmination of that. And that's why I think he feels so confident about it.
Yeah, I think the groundwork's set, dude. Like, it's set. You come in here year 1, you pluck a quarterback from the other side of the nation and bring him in here, and in 2 years you make him a Heisman Trophy winner, and you've won 20 games in 2 years. The groundwork and the foundation is set, and now he's like, look, this is what we do. And I think you're going to see a lot more of that and that competitiveness and how they play from game 1 this year. Like, I really do think that.
Yeah,
it feels like
which is hard, which is crazy to say, because like we said, there's 2 years in a row you got 10-win ball clubs, and we're still saying they're not even close to their ceiling, which is crazy.
Yeah, it did feel like, though, if you like look back at those years, that you were never really sure what you had with LSU, right? Like, obviously last year, after I would say like probably going into like week 3 or 4, where you're like, okay, this offense is legitimate. I didn't think that going into the year that you would have the number 1 offense in the country, but you saw that kind of play out throughout the year. But then you looked at the other side of the ball, you're like, I don't know what I'm going to get for the defense. And then you had the question marks around Harold Perkins of him playing in the middle, then like, we're going to scrap that plan. And it just never felt like they had a total identity on both sides of the football. Now it feels like they're getting closer to that with how he's talking about Harold Perkins. Like, look, we're committing to him playing in the middle of the field. And I put Harold Perkins in a different box than I put the other 10 players. Like, I think there's a world where you can try to do too much. Like, I would just let that man go play football. You don't have to really coach him up that much, but it helps to have a Blake Baker who's our guy that went to the Cowboys, that played linebacker at LSU, Damone Clark, like made him a stud. And so you're going to be able to be more coached up by your position group, but I also think that there's a world where you just let Harold Perkins go play football.
I can't wait to see that, right? Like, I think that you're going to see Harold Perkins be the complete linebacker that everybody wants him to see, and you're going to see him know his role, understand it, and I'm excited to watch it, right? All of the commentary, all of the stuff that is being said right now, all it does is just
give me hope.
Yes.
Optimism.
Yes.
Especially
Love that there's not any conversation right now. Look, camp hasn't started. And a lot of this conversation is going to be pushed by the media. Because when camp starts, you're going to see somebody make a play or not make a play or do something. And if you've never played football before, the first week of camp, some cobwebs are coming out, right? You're excited, you got some adrenaline, you're in pads, you're doing all these things, you've installed all this stuff, and now you're trying to execute it. Like, you're not going to be as sharp as you want to be in week one.
Offense is dominating the defense.
Right, and so you're going to have a lot of these conversations sparked by the media asking questions or giving out tweets or showing video of, like, from practice, oh, this receiver did this, or this receiver had a couple drops, or Harold Perkins got burnt on a ball on a route, or, Harold Perkins made whatever it is, right? And then those are going to ramp up some of those conversations.
Building narratives. And
I think that Brian Kelly is in a really good spot to kind of quell? Is it quell?
Mm-hmm.
Quell those narratives, right? Like, say, hey, we're all right, we're good. Right, these guys, and he's not going to put his players in a situation for failure, like by hyping them up undeservedly or unnecessarily, in my mind. But
I think he does know that the expectation is.
Oh, he knows it, 100%. But like, what good? You don't need to bring any more hype to LSU football in Louisiana, like you don't. That's self-given, right? Everybody loves football here. They're coming off a 2-10-1 season. They're expecting them to be good. You have the number one offensive line in the country. You have a quarterback who people believe in. And you spend all this money on the defensive coach staff. So you already have some momentum and some hype.
I will say this, and I think y'all would agree with this. The hype around LSU football, if you will, if we go all the way back to probably, in my mind, probably like the 2013 spot, I'd say that 5 through 13, that was the hype train at an all-time high. And then from there, it's popular. That's not even a question. It always has been. It's been popular since. But the hype train, I think when you put another 10, 11-win season out again this year, I think the hype train comes, like, it starts getting back to where it was at that point, where you...
Oh, middle of the season you're talking about? Like
No. Where the season starts and you're not hoping you have a good team.
Oh, yeah.
You're expecting 10-plus wins.
Yeah, right.
Every year.
That's what 5 through 13, that's where that thing got, where you were like, nah, dog, we need to open the season as a top 5, and we need to be in that top 5 at the end of the year. And that's basically a 10-win team. That's where you go through the stretch of, I don't know, at one point I think it was like, maybe in the 20 like straight home games that were never lost, like, or maybe even more than that. Like that's the type of stuff you start building again. And I think you get to 10, 11 wins again this year, you start bringing that kind of hype train back here again. That's what I think happens.
100%.
You got to think 19 just hit us. We didn't know we was about to have that kind of a year. You didn't know the team was going to be that good. 19 just hit you, and then COVID hit you the next year.
Yeah,
so you couldn't even carry that into the next year, right? That hype train, I think, comes back if you start building that team and the team starts performing that way again this year.
Yeah, I agree. It's Wednesday. It's supposed to be Ask Mikie Mitch. We didn't pub that. Do we have any questions in there? We have no questions. That's our fault. That's our bad.
It was on Twitter.
Yeah, we didn't pub it before the show. Usually
I put it in the chat before the show.
Oh, thanks. Look at you.
But
no questions. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about the Olympics or football. They hate us. It's fine.
It's fine.
We're
We appreciate each and every one of you, though.
Yeah,
Subscribe,
we love y'all. We love y'all.
Hit the like.
Who's playing the Hall of Fame game?
Texans and somebody
Bears.
else. And Bears.
The Bears.
And it is no Caleb Williams.
Yeah, you're not going to see Caleb Williams. Or
Coach-
C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, Coach JB. Who's this absolute
Who?
JB Brown or whatever, the
Oh, that guy. That guy's a
character.
riot.
Yes, he was not happy about Caleb Williams not playing in his opening game and just the entitlement of these kids. I was like, what do you think was going to happen? The football has changed. Like, they're trying to get rid of the preseason, much less not play your first
So
first
does the Hall
overall
of Fame
pick.
game, they play an extra preseason game or no?
Yes, I believe so.
So there's
This is the game that is like
there's two teams that it's nothing.
you'll see a ball in the air.
Yeah, it's 2 teams that play 4 games, 4 preseason games, and everybody else plays 3, right?
And they're trying to. These are the guys that are trying to make the team.
Yeah, right. It's extra. These guys want to play because it's an extra game for them to show, hey, this is what we can do. But it's also for us to start getting the juices flowing with football. It's also us to start setting up our mock drafts for fantasy football. Hey, Jared.
Talk to me.
Let me ask you this.
What?
Would you be open to being the commissioner of our league?
I'm not opposed to it.
Because
why you give me this on air? Like,
Yeah, he's making you negotiate right
No,
now.
I'm not saying
Putting you in a box.
I'm just saying because like last year we had some issues and like everybody gets busy and does some
I'm not opposed
things
to it.
and does whatever. I just don't know. Like maybe that's a conversation we should have.
I'm not opposed to it.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but fantasy football's coming up. Our draft, we got to figure out when our draft's gonna be because here's the deal. We will be in Vegas. Some of us will be in Vegas for the LSU game. So that whole like right before the NFL season starts draft thing probably won't happen because not everybody will be there live, and I'm definitely not mock draft. I'm not going to
You're
draft.
not drafting from Vegas?
No.
Why not?
I'm going to be at the pool parties and tailgates.
You don't want to spend about 2.5 hours drafting while you're in Vegas?
Mm-mm. I'll be auto drafting. Everybody get mad at me when my team's the best team in the league or something.
Who'd you talk to in Vegas?
Yeah, I'll be auto drafting that thing. But that season's right around the corner. Fantasy football season right around the corner. I'm very, very, very excited about it. But we're not there yet. Lloyd, you got anything you want to say for do you have a mistake of the day?
I do have a mistake of the day, but we talked about it already. It was the Olympics. It was the Simone Biles situation.
Oh.
The woman calling her out on her podcast.
Okay. Is there not another one?
I do have a little bit of an update that I just saw come through Twitter in regards to Brian Kelly and some of the Rotary Club comments where this one I didn't see.
So this is mistake of the day?
No. This is just I thought it was interesting to talk about for a second. Kelly says he's going to hire a salary cap manager of sorts, someone who can focus on divvying up NIL, revenue sharing cash, so he can focus solely on coaching. We're getting there. I think that one person would be Austin Thomas, but I guess he's going to bring in somebody else also. Because from what I've heard, this has been an Austin Thomas-led NIL revolution where he brought in like a legitimate game plan. And the revenue sharing.
He's good at what he does, huh?
Yeah. And just can't seem to quit LSU every time. If you love it, let it leave.
It's crazy to think that like 2 years ago, NIL became a thing. Nobody really knew what was going on, but some people said that this is going to happen.
Yep.
And this is how it's going to be handled, and this is where it's leading to. And they're like, no. I can't
And
do
that this thing would get capped.
And it seems like those people were right. Those people are not the only ones that were talking about it. They're very loud about it. But if that's what they're going to do with NIL, like you have to have some. That's got to be somebody's only job is to deal with.
I would imagine
the
too.
GM side of it.
I would imagine some of these coaches looked at it too. It's like, man, if it was enough to drive someone like Saban out of the game, man, I got a lot of meat left on the bone. How do I stay in the game?
And here's the other thing: is NFL or college coaches have been making the jump to NFL a lot more frequently recently than they have in the past. It's been a little bit easier for them to make the jump from college to NFL, and more enticing for them to do it because of all the other stuff that was going on in college football. Now, having a GM or someone a salary cap manager in college, like I would not be shocked if you start seeing some of these guys at these big schools that are managing these salary caps start getting GM opportunities, assistant GM opportunities in the NFL. A little bit easier than they had in the past because they are actually doing.
Because you're doing it
now.
already, yeah.
Like I would not be shocked to see Austin Thomas.
It would make a lot of sense.
Front office in the NFL.
Yeah, but I say it would make a lot of sense. Like, and I would understand it too. Honestly, like if you go right now, you say you have 3 or 4 years of basically managing what is the salary cap, what is the player budget for a school like LSU, and you're able to be successful, and they're able to see you bring in a whole bunch of quote unquote high dollar guys. Well, what's to say you can't do that at the NFL level next?
Yeah.
What would be stopping you from being able to do that at that level? Besides knowing the dates, besides knowing the NFL schedule,
You're still evaluating
You're
talent.
still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see that being another avenue that they start plucking when it comes to, hey, let's get some fresh blood in here, or some people that know this, or some people that know these players even a little better. Honestly.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Yeah. Interesting. Like the move. I don't think they're going to be the only team doing that, but it's something that you would expect Brian Kelly to be able. Like, he's been thinking about this. You'd imagine he thought about this when he brought in Austin Thomas. Like, we need this. This is your job.
Yeah, that's where I don't want to say push back, but I would imagine that if you are somebody like an Austin Thomas and you've worked in the college game for so long and now you finally found like what you've been trying to do and now it's an actual job responsibility, that why would I go to the NFL? I'm probably
I'm not saying
paid.
right now.
You want to? No. Don't
I'm
you
not
do
saying
that.
right now.
Did you just hear him? He'll probably get paid less. No. If you're crazy to think. If you think the New York Giants GM is getting paid as the same thing as a salary cap guy at LSU, you're nuts. So if I get to go do basically the same job on a bigger scale with a much bigger paycheck, there's a lot of guys that's going to be interested in doing that. I promise you.
Oh, for sure. But I would just imagine, like, I don't think they would get paid the same, but I think it would be enough to where, like, I don't have to do this, and I don't. Austin Thomas has bounced around a lot.
Well, look,
so.
and here's the deal: you're not going to get these guys like that are salary cap managers in college to go, and they're not going to go and bring these guys from college and say, "Oh, hey, go be the GM."
Yeah, that's
right now.
that's more.
They're not
what I
doing
would
that.
think
They'd be say,
also.
"Hey, go be the assistant
Right.
GM." And with an opportunity like a coach,
And you
but like
gotta-
a step up. You don't have to go
Yeah.
to the scout. You don't have to be the head scout. You don't have to go through that level to get to the GM.
And I would imagine too, like recruiting is recruiting and it's a thing. There is probably a level of quote unquote recruiting that these salary cap managers are basically having to do. So with that, at the end of the day, if those rosters are not getting the job done, you better bet your last damn dollar that they're going to be on the hook for a job here too. So your job security in both is probably going to be what and what, if I had to imagine. So it's not like you're more secure here in the college game than you'll probably be at the NFL level. So I would imagine that move to get an opportunity to be a GM at that level. Yeah, I think a lot of guys are going to be interested in doing that, doing what they're doing here.
Agreed.
Lloyd loves a good college game.
Yeah.
Probably. Lloyd's pro LSU, so Lloyd wants you to stay in school for 5 years. He wants all the coaches to never go get a head coach job.
Yeah, if it's not broke, we don't got to fix it. Everything's good right now. It's good. It's the way it's supposed to be. Who
Lloyd's
wouldn't want to
keep
come back
it
to
all
school?
here. No player can leave the state. You got to stay. Build a
Build a
gate.
fence.
Build a fence. Yeah, none of that. Don't leave. It's right here.
Yeah,
Stay home.
that's how you win a championship.
Stay home.
Stay home. Bring Denver Harris back.
Oof. Where's he at? Oh, A&M.
No.
No.
where'd he go?
TSA.
UTSA, right?
Frank got
That's
him in.
right. I thought he was going to go back to
San Antonio. Yeah.
UTSA.
And then he'll ball out there
And get to the league.
and then come back to LSU.
No.
No.
The league.
We're number 18.
I think it's LSU.
I did see a John Emery highlight video that don't get it twisted. This man can ball. He's back.
What was it? They get the gat at the White House?
He had more highlights than I thought, but
He's got highlights, but like he's 8 months removed from an ACL.
he is.
Oh, you've seen current moves on him?
No,
You've seen,
I have not.
Okay.
But some people are just built different. He's one of those guys.
I hope so.
Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
You're saying
Hey,
he's Adrian
same
Peterson.
player.
I hope so.
I hope so too. I hope he plays. I hope he plays well. I do.
1,000 yards.
And hold on to the football.
He is a little loose with that thing.
I know. It's part of the reason why.
Go watch the A&M game from, what was it, 21? He's the only man that cared that day.
Yep.
Showed out.
Yep. He did.
I mean,
okay.
even when he gets hurt, it's a highlight.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't get hurt again.
No.
But you don't have another mistake. You don't.
I do have another mistake.
Oh,
of the
there. I
day.
knew you were gonna find one. Mistake of the day brought to you by our friends at Dozy Place.
And
What we
this
got?
says, you just can't trust nature sometimes. You're in the Olympics. You've been training for 4 years for one moment in archery where it all comes down to one shot and only for Mother Nature to get in the way. As a bee lands on right before she pulls the trigger.
Oh, wow.
And ain't nothing you can do about it.
They don't get a redo.
You know? But that was insane. I was like, damn, what terrible timing.
She worked 4 years.
This is my moment.
4 years for that.
It's tough.
Damn.
I don't even know what else other sport that could happen in, or other event.
I mean, other event. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
A bug in your eye, like in baseball.
Like in baseball, like 3-2 count, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
Gnats.
All of a sudden, something hits you right in the eye as the pitch is coming. You know, like that could happen.
I got stung by a wasp on the dugout one time, like on deck. That
That
was
would,
brutal.
that would not be good. I'm allergic to wasps. That would
Yeah.
not be good.
Struck out 3 pitches. I was like, I'm thinking about something else
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
In
that's
pain.
all right. I'm getting out the box if I got a bug in my
Yeah.
eye.
Well, yeah. Sometimes I fake the bug because
Yeah, you go 0-2 real quick. You in a slump. Hey, time. I ain't got nothing in my eye. Time.
Yeah.
Time. Hey, my eye.
you don't see that bug.
Yeah,
what are you
yeah,
doing?
yeah,
There's
yeah,
a bug.
I
You don't
can't
see
do
it. He's like, time, and you go. You're like, all right,
My bad.
I'm good. I'm sorry.
Then you get a pitch clock
You get in there.
violation.
No, that's how you get away from the pitch
Yeah,
clock
okay.
violation.
Savvy
all right.
move.
Yep, that's a tough mistake of the day. I feel bad for her. Curtain call brought to you by our friends at Assured Partners. Me.
Curtain call. Another Olympic moment. This is the opposite of a bee landing on your.
gonna be an Olympic
on your
show.
weapon. This, I don't even know if this guy belongs in the Olympics, but he certainly won silver. And I don't know if he prepared like everybody else, but the Turkish guy, no goggles, no nothing, just pulls out the gun, hand in the pocket, shows up, wins silver.
How awesome is that?
That guy is a legend. This is what everybody else looks like.
Stone cold killer.
Look, everybody's all prepared, and he's like, I don't know why y'all taking this so seriously. Walked up, bang, silver, get me out of here.
He looked like a fan just grabbed one of the guns and just was walking by.
When they say, "Hey, I need you to be loose and relaxed,"
Hey,
that's
he don't
the
even
guy.
have he don't even have an eye closed either. Look.
only thing that could be better is if he did this.
Sideways, yeah. It's a kill shot.
He said
That man
he
don't
had a
care.
hand in the pocket and he went.
Somebody said on Twitter, quote tweeted this, I know an assassin when I see one. It's just another day in Turkey, dog. Give me that thing.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Love that.
But they have all.
You would think that the military would just go there and win it, right? Like,
Apparently, we don't have any SEAL team members or any of that there.
yeah, right. But you would think that but I guess you could other countries have special forces too, and
That's
what's
what
going on with this guy?
That's
how pretty much all of them are.
Yeah, they got special.
That's why
goggles.
it's so funny about it. They got these goggles and eye blinders and all of this. And my man walked up with just the regular bifocals on and said, "Hey, what's up, dog?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how everyone is.
Wow, I didn't see this. I saw the guy with the hand in the pocket, but I didn't see it live.
Oh, there's another lady too that's like a Asian lady, I believe. I don't remember what country she was from, but one of the blinders is blacked out and she's got this whole thing going. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got the backwards hat on. She looks like a stone cold killer.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she does the whole loads the gun up, shoots and then unloads it. She looks like she's been doing this a minute.
She
It
shot.
looks like she was in an action movie.
Yeah.
And then she unloaded it and set it down
Kill
and just
Bill.
walked away. You're like, oh fuck,
Wow.
we don't got that.
And
We
then
don't
my
have
guy
that.
right here said,
So watch this.
What is this, man? Let me see that. Let me see that thing. This how you do this?
Cool.
Hand in the
Did
pocket.
I win?
Hand in the pocket.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Great.
I need to know more about.
That's
this
a good
man.
one. That's a good credit call. Yeah, I need some research on him. What you got?
I got one.
You got another one? Okay. My curtain call is to our girl, Iona. Mayor?
Yeah.
Mayor? No, not to Iona Mayer. We talked about it earlier. My curtain call is to Iona Mayer's teammate, who I don't know the name of, I'm sorry. But the U.S. rugby team, women's rugby team, wins the bronze medal on a buzzer beater, basically. And you can't play it, huh?
Mm-mm. Can't play that.
Can you not play
No,
it?
I don't think you could play Olympic. I mean, I will.
But it's hold on, let me see. Is it a tweet from
Yeah, I
someone
got
else?
it. I got it.
You know what I mean? It's not technically the broadcast.
Yeah, you can get away with this sometimes.
Don't
I mean, it's for the country. I'm just being a patriot.
Yeah.
I don't really think that's how they look at it, but sure.
We've gotten away with this a couple of times,
A
right?
couple of times. I won't even go full screen. I'll just do it just like this. The tweet you put in there goes, I don't know nothing about no rugby. This is electric.
But you kind of do this.
tell me
She's
what-
pulling away.
Hold on. Tell me what.
The girl lying down is doing?
No.
How do we
What's
not
non
tackle?
doing? What's non doing?
How do we? Can you not? Two people can't tackle her at once. Is that the rule?
I don't know,
I don't
but-
know the rules. But here's the deal: after she breaks through, that girl's
It's
chasing
over.
her. Oh no, you can't. I'd have taken my shoe off and tried to throw it at her.
Yeah.
try to make her
I would
trip
be
or
a real
something.
cheater.
And there's just
That's
not
great.
false there.
I love that. Good for him.
In case y'all didn't know.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you handle those situations. All right.
He really bombed.
Yeah, that was tough.
Somebody didn't prepare that, man. I'm a
Yeah, or he just, you know,
No, I'm
maybe he
stand
just.
on that. Somebody didn't prepare that, man.
I think he just kind of.
He had no clue what to say. He had nothing prepared. All those other coaches got up there and gave you a kind of.
That's on him though.
How? It's his first time being a head coach. How would he know?
But he's got to know that, like, hey, I got. You
How would he? Okay, my question is, how would you know?
Because you've seen it plenty of times.
Has he?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because he's a football player. He's seen it.
What,
He's
how do you know?
played. Because he understands. Like he's seen.
Okay, I've seen, bro. We're both 30+ years old. I know media day goes on. I don't know what coaches' opening speeches are about.
No. I'm not. But you know that you give one. Like,
Did he know? I don't know.
I mean, I assume that he would know. Like, I know that you give one. Like, you go out there and you say, okay, opening. It doesn't have to be long. You could say, hey, opening statement. You know, I'm excited to be here, ready to get going. Blah blah blah. It doesn't have to be long. I think it's okay. I've been in situations where it's like, damn, I have all this thing I want to say, and I get up there and it's like,
what was I gonna say?
I forgot everything I just practiced. And maybe that's what happened. And look, he's gonna have other press conferences. He's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill it.
We set the bar very low.
But yeah, it's fine.
He's got literally what's the worst that can happen?
Fine. He's
That.
gonna be good. He's gonna be good.
That.
Literally.
We're in LA
We're not, just in case y'all forgot.
with USC.
And look,
I'm just excited.
maybe people forgot about UCLA out there. Because they haven't really done much lately. They thought they were gonna do well, and they didn't. And then their head coach left to be the offensive coordinator
At
Ohio State, which that's a wild decision. But anyway,
You say I don't have a salary cap, man.
Yeah.
I'm out,
Yeah.
bro. I just want to coach ball.
we appreciate the love and support. We will be back live on Friday. What? Oh, we'll be back live on Friday in studio. We're gonna have some updates from Paris. It was supposed to be today, but listen, Kayla Ledecky had to do her thing, and so we were not allowed to. Our guest was not free. He will be free later on in the week for an interview. We will get some updates about the Olympics. We will talk more about football, about the sports world. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll be back on Friday. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you don't like us, anywhere you get your pods. And we love y'all. And we'll see you on Friday.
#1 recruiting class in the country.
Peace. #1 recruiting class in the country.
We're in.
Although
First.
Texas had an impression on our guy.
#1 recruiting class in the country.
Texas had an impression on our guy, though.
I'm talking about my team.
Oh, my God. Cut the stream.
About to go work. I'm in the college football playoff. About to get this to work. Jay Johnson, I lost my offensive coordinator, went to the NFL. That's okay.
Happens. It happens. Turnover.
We don't rebuild, we reload.
Turnover happens when you have good teams.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Build a wall.
Boy, did I.
All right. We'll see you on Friday. Enjoy your Wednesday.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Creighton.